Okay, it's preparing. It'll take just a second. You probably see on your screen that we're live, but it's not fully live yet. Okay, it's preparing. Oh, and okay.
All right, I see that meeting is now streaming live on YouTube. Well, welcome everyone. I trust you all had a great summer. Certainly the weather was quite cooperative this year. I think what we'll do is at 4:35, we'll call this meeting to order. Everyone has their agenda. Item number 1 on our agenda is adoption of minutes. Has everyone had a chance to read the minutes? Are there any comments or corrections? That was from our June meeting. There are none. I would ask for a mover, please. Robert and Jennifer, seconder. And all in favor? Okay, item number 2 on our agenda, declaration of pecuniary interest. Anyone have a conflict to declare? None noted. Item 3, adoption of the agenda. Any comments? Okay, may I have a mover to Matthew? Thank you. And seconder Mark? All in favor? Item number 4, business arising. I think that's when we wait to hear from Virginia or Margaret.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm using my phone and not my computer, so it's always a little bit more challenging. So just to give you a bit of an update on Elliott Sports Complex, they've started leveling off all the area in preparation for the asphalt. There were some challenges this summer with ordering equipment. Things definitely did take a lot longer to start arriving than what you see in a normal year. So that posed a bit of a challenge for staffing when they were trying to, schedule projects this summer. The washroom upgrades, so the equipment's in. So if everybody remembers, there were going to be actuators installed on the doors to make the washrooms in the field house accessible, as well as a water fountain was going to be installed at that location so that anybody playing pickleball or soccer would be able to fill up their water bottles. And then Margaret's been working with the pickleball groups just as far as engaging them in the process. And we're going to potentially be looking at doing some type of opening this fall. So we haven't landed on a date for that, but we'll be sure to keep everybody posted as we move forward with kind of that kickoff that they're done. So yeah, that one, does anybody have any questions about that project?
Yes, I have, Virginia. What is the hopeful completion date of that? Will it be happening by the end of September?
We're hoping that we'll have it kind of early October. It's actually I don't know if anybody's had an opportunity to drive by the site, but it's actually quite, when you're there, you realize just how much space a pickleball court takes up and just actually what a sizable development it's actually going to be once it's completed.
Okay, that's great. Any questions or comments from anyone?
Virginia, I want to play you pickleball when it's ready.
Oh, no problem. I'll be happy to go meet you at the pickleball court. We'll have to have a pickleball outing for all the PRAC members.
I got to let you have a grudge match because I beat you in the disc golf.
I don't think I could throw after watching you shoot that disc that time. So anyways, so yeah, so that's kind of Elliott Sports Complex. I don't know if we want to move on to, I've got a few updates.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so James Street Revitalization. So there's been a few things that have been moving forward at that location. We did another community art project this summer. So we had engaged the residents in continuing to work on painting and doing some beautification around the planter boxes. So that went really well. We had quite a good engagement. In addition, Atomica was one of the partners this year, and they came down and did some activities. Again, everything was COVID friendly. But one of the things that they did was plant some butterfly gardens. So our parks crew prepared some of the flower beds and came in and did some additional plantings in the area. The area has been leveled and is prepped for asphalt, which should be going in relatively soon for the basketball court. Also, the area's got some final prepping to be done and paving for the skate park. The installation of equipment will take place next year, but we had some really good engagement with some local skateboard advocates with regards to the design. So we've worked with them and had a number of site meetings. They actually came up with a very creative idea with having a long drop-in berm at the very end of the pad. So it actually allows for a lot of skaters to have kind of a perch to sit in and hang out on, but then also have a large drop-in space. The nets for the soccer pitch have went in, and I believe the sod was going in, and then Parks was just trying to look at what the scheduling looked like for the installation of the playground equipment.
Well, thanks, Virginia. I would be certainly excited to have that as part of a field trip once it's completed. Anyone have any comments or questions about that?
I agree, Dean. I like that idea of a field trip with for practicing it.
Okay, no questions. Item 4.3, Twin Pad update.
I don't know if Brent's dropped in on the line yet. I believe Matt is also on the committee, but I can provide a bit of an update since I get to hear the pounding on a daily basis because I'm at the NCC right now. But they have started construction, so they started some excavation. The pilings are going in, which you can feel when that happens. So they are making some good progress there. I'm not sure, Matt, if you had anything else that you wanted to share.
I don't think there was anything beyond that, other than there was a minor variance approved a short while ago for the project to go ahead as originally planned, and I think that was about the only thing that happened over the course of the summer.
And when is that hope to be ready by 2022?
I think the hope is that it'd be targeted for very, very late in 2022. I don't know. I think initially we were looking like end of November-ish, but I think that's all pending. So I think we'll know a little bit more, as we start to move through the project. But yeah, it's coming. It'll be here before we know it.
That's great. Any other comments or questions? Okay, moving on to item number 5 on our agenda, our subcommittee task force updates. You have to remind us who's on what subcommittees now, Virginia.
So I will turn over in Sports Hall of Fame. So I'll turn that over to Mark and Margaret.
Yeah, hi everybody. Well, our committee, we haven't met, but we should be meeting soon. But I think Margaret could give us a background on what was done over the summer. I know there was some promo about the upcoming Sports Hall of Fame. So Margaret, could you give us a report, please?
As you said, Mark, we did push through social media, just little teasers to try to encourage people to start thinking about nomination for the Sault Ste. Marie Sports Hall of Fame. Next week, we'll be going out the actual direct correspondence to our sports leagues and to our contacts to encourage them to apply. And we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's it. Eh?
Thank you. Okay, item 5.2, a stack update. Well, unfortunately, with our COVID times, STAC has not yet met. There is certainly some things happening in our active transportation in town. As you drive around town, you notice there's new bike lanes here and new bike lanes there. They're working on repairing a lot of sidewalks in certain areas. STAC hopes to meet soon, or maybe in the fall. I can tell you that the planning department, meaning Don McConnell and Steve Turco, are working on updating the transportation master plan regarding the cycling or the active transportation part of it. But basically, I have no other news than that. On another note, we've mentioned about the Sioux Cycling Club and their single track trail they're hoping to build at the Finn Hill area. And I had shared some of one of their newsletters with you, and they had a fundraising campaign, which has been incredibly successful. Last count I heard, it was 97,000 and something that they've raised. And now how it works is that 60,000 will get them to build the single track trail. If they reach 140 or 150,000, they can put a lot of fancier things in adjacent to the trail. Construction is planned to occur in the next week and a half. The company from Quebec that's building the Farmer Lake Trail up in the Hiawatha Highlands is hoping to start working as early as the date I had heard before was September 15th, but it probably won't be until next Monday. But they're hoping to construct that trail in the Finn Hill area, and it will probably take about 3 weeks to 5 weeks to build. So it should be ready later this year. So Robert, I'll meet you on the trail.
Okay, that's a plan.
Any other questions or comments?
Dean, you mentioned the Farmer Lake Trail.
Yeah.
What's how far did they get working on that this summer?
Basically, the plan was to not originally have it completed this year. Initially, they had planned a 6 or 8 kilometer trail in a loop, but the trail has been redesigned to be an out and back trail. And I have had the fortune of walking it with Travis Anderson. And there are some parts of that trail that you can't believe you're in Northern Ontario. It's extremely exciting and exhilarating, the trail that they have built. Basically, the plan is to let it sit over the winter, and then they'll realize, did they correctly build their erosion control and different things like that. But parts of that trail will be used probably for fat biking this winter. Paul, you'll be happy to hear that. Essentially, right now, they've been trying to keep everybody off the trail. And they have open sections at Hiawatha. There's a new trail they call Bridge to Bridge. And it's sort of a linear trail, very similar to the rollers that we have on our pump track. It's an outstanding little trail, and it's become very popular. But completion will be next spring for that Farmer Lake Trail. Any other questions? Okay, item 6 on our agenda, new business.
Okay, Point to Shane disc golf course. So just to give a bit of an update, we were originally, the committee will remember, we had put forth that the disc golf course be included in the grant that we had prepared. We did not receive money funding for that grant, but then when we were able to start pricing out some of the equipment, we had some money within our operating budget in order to purchase the disc baskets. So we've moved forward with that development this summer. It was completed, and we worked closely with the Disc Golf Association in laying out the course. So it's quite a beautiful course that's been laid out at that location. And I know Margaret's recently been working with the committee to look at trying to do like a little bit of a tournament to kick off and introduce people to the course this fall. I think, was that taking place this weekend, Margaret?
Last weekend, actually, and it was quite
last weekend.
Yeah, very well received, and we've got some happy people out doing nice things outside.
One of the other parts of that initiative that we're able to support is the park staff actually have building out there, which is located kind of along the disc golf course. And we do have, through previous grants and support, we have a bunch of discs that we're able to actually have out at that location, so that if there are people that are looking at trying to rent or trying to learn how to play the sport, they have the ability to sign out the discs at that location. And Travis, our Parks Department, has indicated that his staff would be able to support that. So it'll be a nice opportunity for people that want to try it out. And in addition, I believe the disc golf group is also going to have discs available for people to continue to try out the activity. We also, for visibility for the committee, discs packages are available that people can sign out at the library just by using your library card. So that was a partnership that we had with the library from, I think, has it been a couple years now, Margaret, that's been available? I think. So yeah, so that's, there are a lot of ways for people to try the sport out without having to go invest in it right away, just by being able to use one of those lending locations.
Thank you, Virginia. Any other comments or questions about that?
Not a question, but a comment, Dean, is this summer going by the Clerg disc park, golf disc park. Unbelievable. I saw people playing all summer long. Like it's well used, which is great.
Yes, I've noticed the same thing, Mark. It's there are always seems to be some disc golfers out there for sure. Okay, item 6.2, the West End splash pad. I'm interested to hear what's going on there, Virginia.
So Brent might want to jump in, but we, for the committee's reference, we attached the resolution that was brought forward at a previous council meeting. So what the staff have been doing since then is we've been looking at a couple locations. Brent has put a lot of time into preparing the report, and we're also looking at what that costing would look like. So we've been working through that process. Brent, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Sure, Virginia, thank you. Yeah, we're looking to bring a report, probably the first council meeting in October, to council for review for potential locations in the West End. It was mentioned that at that evening, I think the one location was Elliott Park, due to the amenities that were potentially there with respect to the pickleball, the renovation of the washroom and space there. And we're also looking at some others. So just making sure that we have good potential locations reviewed in the park space in the western end of the city to help augment the splash pad that is down in the Bellevue Park area. So we look forward to bringing that to council in early October for review.
Thanks, Brent, and welcome to the meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, any questions or comments, Brent? All right, we're moving on to item number 7 on our agenda, correspondence.
We have no new correspondence right now.
Okay, well, we're flying right along here. Item number 8 is the date of our next meeting, which is Tuesday, October 5th.
Dean, I came in late. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Did you go through the West End, the twin pad expansion already? Was that covered?
Yeah, between Virginia and actually Matt was filled us in with some things.
Oh, that's great. I might have a couple of points just to add from our
Sure, go ahead.
meeting we had today. Just minor, but just want to make sure the committees or the PRAC's well aware. There's about 43 piles of the 152 that are now in the ground. And we're looking within the next month to have the balance of those. Excavating is well underway right now. The site is secure with fencing, and we're making pretty good progress and staying on track. And we're having weekly meetings bi-weekly meetings with the task force. And we also keep a larger group apprised as well, with Councillor Shoemaker is on that committee as well. So there's good progress. We're very excited about the project, and it's nice to see it occurring.
Yes, congratulations on getting that shovel in the ground. We're all excited about it. Okay, anyone else have any new business or comments? Well, I'm glad to see the committee back together again. hopefully one of these months we'll be meeting in a room instead of looking at each other on our screens. Item number 9 on our agenda is motion to adjourn. May I have a mover, please? Matthew? And Robert is a seconder. Thanks, everyone.
Tracy, when you leaving?
Pardon?
When are you retiring?
I did, Robert. April 30th, I retired.
Oh,
Where were you in June?
remember I was in Caracato time.
Okay, Robert. Well,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm glad you retired. Are you enjoying it?
I'm loving it, and I'm due to be a grandma in about 3 weeks, so